Disclaimer. What you are about to listen to is a random woman from the internet yap on and on about the most random shit happening in her life, while frequently changing topics mid-sentence. Does she ever have good advice? Occasionally. Is she funny? She likes to think so. So if you don't happen to have an autistic friend with a dash of depression and a scoopful of ADHD, congratulations, you are about to know what your FaceTime sessions would be like.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Messy Depressy podcast. I am your best friend, Jess. It's just Jess, nothing more, nothing less. I am just Jess. How are we today? I feel like I try to go between having like more, I wouldn't say negative because I hate the word negative, more somber, realistic, maybe controversial episodes, like thought processes that people, my dog just, sorry, that's probably I think that's my favorite thing to do is just, I'm in the middle of a sentence and I just say my dog a lot because I will be in the middle of doing something and he will just come in and interrupt me. Like right now, he is really trying to play tug with a duck. Papa, this is not the time. You got to give me like 40 more minutes. Just 40 more minutes and then we will play the entire night. I promise you. He's not having it. Anyway, I feel like last week I kind of hit on something, like my conversation was just like not, I guess, like lighthearted as much as I was not trying to actually be like that serious, but because I do actually not like to be a serious person, despite what other people think. I like to laugh, I like to be goofy, I like to be silly, I like to be fun, and so this episode I'm really trying to like keep it like lighthearted, but I guess I have been more, I wouldn't even say negative, but more in just like a thought process mood recently. I've been thinking a lot and I've been considering a lot lately, and I guess my brain has just kind of been stuck in a mode where I kind of just keep continuing to like think about things, not even necessarily negative things, but just like thinking about things that are going on in my life, like very like introspective things, like philosophical things. I would say like what is the meaning of life? That's one that I actually think about a lot. That's actually one of my Hinge prompts, and it's a very popular Hinge prompt actually that gets a lot of responses. And so if you're on Hinge, if you're a single girly like me, maybe set one of your Hinge prompts to that. Say, I think it's like something I won't shut up talking about, and mine is the meaning of life. And the amount of people who respond saying, so what is it? And then I just respond, newsflash, it's nothing, because it's like something and nothing at the same time. And this is not what I was going to talk about. This is just like a little side tangent. Are we shocked at this point? No, but really, like, life is like, it means everything and it means nothing at the exact same time. If we think about it, like, it's almost like because it means everything, it means nothing. Like, life is not that serious. You just do what you want. And actually, that's what kind of brings me to today's episode. Is I heard something on TikTok. I will shout out the creator. Her name is Ballet Blondie. I believe it's Mac, the girl who does ballet, sings, did try out for DCC, documented the whole journey. She said something, and then it really, I think, resonated with me. And I feel like this is like just one of the things I have not been able to stop thinking about the last couple days, and like has been putting me kind of just like into like a thinking mood. I feel like you have two moods in your life. If you hear that whining, it's my dog because he desperately just wants to play right now. Mommy is working. Mommy is trying to make money so that she can buy you infinite treats. Even though I know at some point it's not going to be infinite treats. Because I just think he's going to live for the rest of my life, and I know he's not. And when that day, I can't even think about it because I think about that way too much already. And actually, one of my biggest fears in life is him not being in my life anymore, and I never gave him a human baby because he loves children. He loves children. He loves babies. And I just know that he wants one desperately. And that's actually it's one of my greatest fears in life, is just not being able to give him a human baby brother or sister. We're not talking about that. Either way, you have two moods in life. I feel like you have one where it's like you're very chatty and you're very outgoing. And I think that's actually why people think that, like, people that are like that more naturally, I would say they kind of, they consider those people to be more positive people, just because they're kind of like that. I think is what society intertwines positivity with, is like just being like outgoing and being chatty. And then there's some people out there who are just kind of more somber, more introspective, and they think more. Me, I'm both. Like, it depends on my mood. I have two moods. I have one where I can go out and I can yap for a million hours a minute. And then I have one where like I kind of get more quiet and I just kind of like get in my head and I get more like thoughty and I like just start thinking more. Sometimes it is negative and sometimes I do spiral, and that's not good. But sometimes it's just like, no, I'm just like thinking about like life and like living life and like human connections with each other, and like how we're all just like humans like floating around on this planet and just trying to like live life for the first time and like live it right. And is there even a right way to live life? And what if there is, what is that way? Like, sometimes you just get, I think, more introspective, and they're just two moods, and there's nothing wrong with either one of them. But I think people who think, or people just typically assume people just that are just more introspective and quiet and think more, they automatically assume that they're more negative, which doesn't make them a negative person. It just means that they think more. And I kind of talked about that in my last episode, where I think people just like think that I'm the victim because I'm going through a lot in life. But I like to share that I like go through a lot in life, but not because I just try to dwell on it. Sometimes I do, but and that's just negative thought processes that like I do need to be better about like pulling myself out of. But I also do share them sometimes just as fact, because I like people to know what I went through, so they can know that if they ever want to come to me, I'm a safe space for them to come to me, and I can relate and I can be empathetic. And I also try to not hide it or push away my history, because I want to be open, because I think that we need more openness in this world. That was so long. Anyway, so I just feel like as society, we typically think more outgoing, more extroverted, more yappy, more positive person, more introverted, more somber, or not even somber, more introverted, more retrospective, more quiet, more negative, and which is not true whatsoever. And I'm just trying to take away that stigma. But this last couple days, I feel like I have been just like thinking a lot about different things, and I guess going full circle, because I got off topic again, I do that so freaking much. One of the things I've been thinking about a lot recently is what Mac, Ballet Blondie, said on TikTok, and it's that things in my life that I have they're just things that I want to do, but they don't make me me. And that kind of shocked me. Well, it didn't shock me, but like it just made me like, it stopped me in my tracks for a minute, and it made me think. And I kind of talked about this before too. Like, this might not be groundbreaking information. I don't know where she got it from. I don't know if she like worked through this in therapy, if she heard it from somewhere else. I don't know. I just know that I heard it from her. But I probably have indeed heard this like in a different way before. Actually, like, I know for a fact I have probably heard this in like a different way before. It's probably said a different way. But this is why it is so important to continue to talk like as humans and like put out our own story, is because you might always say something in a different way that catches people's attention. Like, someone probably could have said this to me before. Like, I think like the most common I can think of, or like something I know I have been told before, like, the things that I do in life do not make my identity, but it's never, I think, really stuck with me until she said it on TikTok. And maybe it's the way she phrased it. I also think phrasing things differently catches other people in one way than it does like somebody else. Also, the timing too. Like, if I heard that like 5 years ago and I wasn't in the right mindset or mind frame, is that a word? Anyway, if I wasn't in the right mindset or time in my life to hear that thing for it to be impactful, it's not going to be impactful. It needs to be at the correct time in my life to be said again for it to be impactful. And actually, this is why I really wish like I just had a photographic memory, and every single like thing of advice or every single thing that was said to me in my life, I could just like put it in a database in my brain and remember it automatically, because that's like one of my actually like fears in life, and it's something that I really struggle with, is like realizing just like you might have to relearn something. Like you might have this great kind of, I'm trying to think of like a good example where like a couple weeks ago where I talked about like accepting my life, and I've been like in a really good habit of like thinking about that daily and like just really accepting where I'm at in life. I might fall out of that and it might become something else, and I might have to kind of relearn it and come back to it. Like it might be a concept in my life I might need to come back to in 10 years. And it's not that you just have to keep adding on into your life, and you don't have to put pressure on yourself to just remember every single little piece of advice or every single thing that you worked on in therapy or every single thing that you did to try to improve your life. You don't have to do that for the rest of your life and just keep adding and adding and adding on onto your life, and to the point where you explode. Like you're going to forget things. You're going to forget things, and maybe you have to come back to those things later in your life. But my whole point with that being is someone could have said like the exact same thing to me probably 5 years ago, but if it wasn't something I needed to hear in that moment, it wasn't going to be impactful. Like things are not going to be impactful in your life until the moment where you need to hear something, unfortunately. And I am just like a believer that everything happens for a reason. And so I always do believe that things are going to come back around if they weren't supposed to be impactful in your life in that moment. Not just words, people, situations, scenarios. If it's not beneficial to your life in that moment, it doesn't mean it's gone forever. It will come back around. And you need to have, I think, hope and faith and trust in your life that it will eventually, good things that happen to you will come back around when they're supposed to. Like good opportunities just don't go away forever. Like you're like, oh, that was a lost opportunity, I'm never getting it back. Girl, you're gonna get it back. You're gonna get it back. You're gonna get it back when you need it. And you just have to have, I think, hope and faith that that is what's going to happen for you. So when I heard this though, when she said this, and I don't know, like it just, at this point, this moment in my life, it really struck a chord within me. And I don't know why exactly, but I think even recently, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been trying a bunch of different things, and I've been like really trying to put my life back together, and I feel like I have been failing. Ever since like I left my long-term toxic relationship, I feel like I've been constantly just trying my best to put my life back together, and I just feel like things haven't been working out for me. Like I left, if you guys know this story, I'm so sorry, but if you're a first-time listener, I'm gonna just recap for you. I left my toxic relationship, and then I was in a job, and I actually loved that job, and so I was working so hard. I was even like through my breakup, I think actually I was working more during my breakup, and they thought I was actually on PTO because I was just working like off hours. I was working like an hour here, hour there, between like trying to like move out of this guy's house and move it all into my apartment and whatever. And so I was just genuinely trying to just keep my brain busy, and also because I loved and cared about my job, I was like pouring so much into it at that time. So, and I also knew that I needed to support myself for like probably the first time in my life, because I always had people to fall back on. When I was in college, I did have my parents' help. I will admit that. I'm very grateful for that. And so I wasn't completely on my own. I did pay for a lot of things myself. I had jobs, but I did have my parents' help. They were very gracious for that, and I'm very grateful for that. And then I immediately got married. Like 24 days after I graduated college, I got married. So I never really had to do that. So I was like dumping all of my time and energy into a job that I loved and I cared about, and I wanted to make my life better. And then something happened where that turned toxic, and I was not being treated as I should have been at that job. So I had to leave, and then I found a different job, and it was okay. It was a job, but it was kind of just a stepping stone. And at the same time, I was still applying to other places, trying to get into somewhere else because I knew I didn't really enjoy it very much. So I was, again, trying to put my life back together. But before I could do that, I lost that job because of unethical reasons that we're not going to get into. And then I moved to Chicago because I found a different job and I got like super excited about it. I was like, this is it. This is my fresh start. And ever since then, I feel like I've been trying to put my life back together. I kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago where I am very grateful about where my life is currently, but it is still not where I want it to be. So I am trying to get my life, trying so unbelievably hard actually to get my life to a point of where I want it to be, and improve my life. And I just feel like I keep sticking noodles. Like I'm cooking noodles and I keep trying to stick them to the wall and they keep falling. Like for some reason my noodles just will not come out ready, and it's just like I'm just cooking. I'm cooking. I am cooking right now because I'm trying. I am cooking so freaking hard with my life. I'm trying, and I just feel like I'm just keep coming flat every single time. Friendships don't work out, relationships don't work out, situations don't work out. I'm trying to find part-time jobs because, again, I'm still trying to like rebuild myself financially. None of that's working out. So anyway, I just feel like I keep trying things. And I guess going back to that quote, that's why I think it was so impactful right now, is because I'm trying. I'm literally playing fetch with my dog as I'm speaking right now. This is mother multitasking at its finest. If you're watching this on YouTube, you just see me like periodically pick up a yellow tennis ball. That's what it is. I'm trying to keep my dog occupied and also try to become a famous podcaster at the same time. Anyway, I think that's what has been like why this quote was so impactful in my life at the current moment, is because since I have been, this is probably the most unstable my life has ever been. Ever. Since I was born. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, I think that's just why this quote was like so impactful, because this is the most unstable my life has ever been. This is like the most where I felt like directionless in my entire life, just kind of like waiting for something to stick, waiting for an opportunity or something to like stick around, waiting for relationships to stick around, waiting for friendships to stick around, so I can work towards something in all of those different situations or scenarios in my life. And so I'm just feeling very unstable right now. And so since I've been trying to do different things to kind of build back up my life, and none of them have really quite worked out for me yet. I think I've been taking a lot of that to heart, and I've been taking them all as failures. And I know that Mac on TikTok, she was saying it as like the things, like the goals, like the tangible goals she has, like the DCC, like her trying to make the DCC. She's saying that that's not like her identity. It doesn't make her what she is. But I think it goes beyond just like auditioning for something or even like landing a job. It goes with like even just like making friends. If you're trying to make friends out there and you just seem to like be struggling for some reason, or you just feel like you just can't, you're having a little bit harder of a time making human connection with somebody else than you, remember, like, that is not your identity. It's just something that you want. You just want more human connection, but it doesn't make you any less you. Or if something doesn't work out for you, or you meet a girl and you guys just don't click and you guys just go your separate ways, that does not diminish you. It has nothing to do with your identity, you as a human, your purpose. It's just something that you want that just didn't seem to work out. And so you can either figure out if you want something else, if you want to pivot, or if you want to keep working towards that. And I guess it just really helped me put things into perspective, that all these things that I want in my life, I want them because of my identity. I want them because I care about them. And I've done a lot of work on myself with that to figure out like what I want in life, driven by my identity, not driven by what society wants for me, but driven by genuinely like what I care about, which I can go on a whole nother tangent about people in my life trying to tell me what I want. And like especially my dating, like I meet a guy and he seems great. He seems like a great guy on paper. He's very nice, very sweet, very kind, but I just know it's not what I like. We want two different things. And then my friends are telling me like, you're just still hurt, that's why you don't want him. Like, a good guy comes into your life and you're just not grateful enough for him because you're just still hurt by like what has happened to you, so you just need more time to heal. Like, people just like, I'm like, no, I just don't want him. And they're like, or maybe you're just like chasing bad boys. I'm like, no, I actually don't. Like, I love that he is nice, and believe me, I wish I could feel a romantic connection with this person, and I just can't. I can't, because it's not what I want. Anyway, my whole point being, believe me, I have done the work in therapy to figure out what I want, driven by my ideals and my morals and my identity as a person. I am somebody, I think I did value cards probably for like 3 weeks straight in therapy. We just sat down and we went through all these cards with little values on them. The thing that I care about most in this life is friends and family and love. Those are just the highest morals that I hold for myself above everything else in life. Those are just the 3 pillars of my life that I put myself on. Some people that's travel, some people it's money, some people it's career, like, which is good for them. That's just not me. That's not who I am. So the things that I want in life now, the things that I'm searching for, is to fulfill those morals that I internally hold. And I know that I want those things, but just because I go searching for those things in my life and it seems to not work out, or it seems as a failure, I used to think it impacted those things. Like, those things should mean less to me. It makes me kind of question myself. It makes me question my life. It makes me question what I believe in as a person, what my morals are. But just because things don't work out, it doesn't diminish who I am. It doesn't diminish my identity. It just means that those things didn't work out. So I guess just going back to what Max said, what you want in life is just simply something that you want, but it is not who you are. And I think that that is amazing advice that we could all, I think, use a little bit more of in this lifetime. I don't know how or why or when or what people are going through and how that could be impactful in their life, but I do think that a lot of people, and I'm not talking for other people, but from what I've noticed, there's people that I have witnessed who kind of make the things in their life tangible or intangible, like their career or their sports or their relationships even. That's what I mean by like tangible and intangible. Those things, they kind of like make them their whole identity. And I feel like when you lose that, those people like lose themselves. We've seen it time and time before. I think like the most basic thing is like athletes, when their whole life, they like kind of surround their whole life around one specific sport or whatnot, and then like when they retire, I think we have seen, at least in the media, that people kind of spiral and they just kind of like don't know what to do. It's because they make those things their identity. But in the other way around, we should make those things in our life because we are so sure of our identity. Like, our identity is what drives things to be in our life, not things in our life make our identity. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think it makes sense in my head. It's like we're looking at it backwards. We're trying to build things in our life to define us as a human instead of figuring out who we are as a human first and then adding things into our life based off of that evaluation of who we are as a human. Yeah, which is why I think everyone should go to therapy. Not like people should really start to like evaluate their lives more, Because there's people who care about other things in life differently than other people. The number one thing that I care about is just love, giving love, showing love, not even necessarily even receiving love. Like, I would love to at some point reap what I sow, but I just genuinely love caring about people. It is probably my main core pillar in my life. I love doing it, and I want to do it, and I want to do it for a family. And so, but there's other people out there like that just don't care about those things. They'd rather travel, or rather have a career, or rather have money. And I mean, are they doing that because that's really what they want to do, or do they actually just like crave love? I actually do believe genuinely that everyone in this life is searching for career, hope, and purpose. 3 things. Or not career. I do genuinely believe that there's 3 things that people hope or are searching for in life, and it's love, hope, and purpose. And that's what it comes down to. And I do think a lot of people, like, they do feel love, like, to their core, like that is like one of their also main pillars, but because they have just been hurt so much, like, again, it's like the things in your life hurt you so much that you kind of try to like bruise your identity to fit the things that are happening in your life. Like, if you just feel like you keep failing at things, it kind of attacks your identity. So people probably do want love, but because it just keeps not working out for them, they think, well, maybe I'm not attuned to this, and so then they try to like change their identity. And so then like that's how you get avoidant. That is basically, I feel like, avoidance in a nutshell, is because they probably do want that and they crave that, and they just keep getting hurt so much in life that they don't want to deal with their own feelings, so then they just avoid them, and then they end up hurting other people more, which is ironic. But I guess that can happen too, is when you just start to fail. Well, that's like literally what the quote is. It's like realizing that things that I want in life are not my identity, because that is what happens a lot of times, where people, I guess going back to the athletes, like retire and they feel like they don't have a sense of purpose anymore, and it like takes their identity out. But then it's also like people, they might know their identity, they might know that they want to just love, like that's one of like the core morals of their life that they put their life on, like that's who they are, and they just care about that. And so then they go searching for relationships, but then when it doesn't work out, they take it as an internal hit to their identity instead of just like separating the two. Even though things don't work out in your life, or may not work out in your life, that you're craving and that you want, it doesn't make you less of a human. Things that I want, repeat after me. Things that I want in my life are just things. They're not who I am. And I 100% need to take my own advice. I just know that a lot of my friends are out there and they're just thinking, Jess, like, if you just took your own advice that you say on your freaking podcast episodes, life would probably be a lot better. You're not wrong. You're not incorrect. I am very bad at doing that. But I feel like that's most people in life. Like, they can dish out advice and they can't really take it. Like, the amount of people who tell me, I think the worst, I'm not even saying a specific person or specific people with this one, but the amount of relationship advice I give, or I get from people saying like, oh, I wouldn't tolerate that, and then I just like look at them and I'm like, you realize what you're saying, right? Anyway, a lot of things are easier said than done, and that's just what it comes down to at the end of the day. And I'm trying my best, and I am actively working on myself, despite what people think. We are putting our life back together. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner or later. It's going to happen eventually. I am going to be unstoppable. Once I fix this chemical imbalance in my brain, guys, that's what I'm saying. It's over for y'all. It is so over for y'all. I'm going to be like Megatron. I'm quite literally going to be unstoppable. Too bad it's permanent, so I don't know how to fix it. Only God can fix it at this point. I mean, he works miracles every single day, so we will see if that happens. But anyway, I have now been talking for 30 minutes. I think this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode after I cut this down, but not everything has to be a Grammy, Oscar nomination worth topic. So short and sweet, that's what I like to say. I actually attempt to keep all my podcast episodes short. That usually just never happens. But like I said, I haven't been in like a yappy mood recently. I've kind of been more like an introspective, reflective, thought provoking type mood recently. Yeah, I blame the weather. It's been gloomy. Actually, April is like when I get like my worst seasonal depression. It doesn't even happen in December, like when we're in the thick of winter. It happens when we're like coming out of winter, because I just get like so anxious and I get so antsy to just be done with this freaking weather and have nice, sunny, warm weather again. And it's just like I become impatient and like literally starts to like drive me crazy. But next March, I will be spending the entire month of March in Hawaii, and you can mark my words on that. I will be making it happen somehow. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen yet, but I will be making it happen somehow. And with that, I'm officially just yapping, so I think I'm going to cut this off. But if you made it to this point in the episode, I love you. I appreciate you. Y'all are the best. You know that. I will already owe you, or I already am in debt to you with everything in my life. And just leave a comment like this. I don't know, do anything, but I love you all. I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.